Welcome back to the Juggernaut Show, everybody. And this is my first video of 2026. I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. And I hope everybody is safe out there. And I hope everybody achieves their goals in the year of 2026. And whatever it may be. So I just want to say that right now. And also, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also, go turn on that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. But today we're going to be doing a reaction video. We're going to be reacting to Cultaholic's 10 best matches from WWE in the year of 2025. You know, we had a lot of good matches, but we had some bad matches. You know, we had some highs, we had some lows, we had some stuff in the middle. But yeah, definitely go down in the comments. Let me know what your guys' favorite matches are from 2025 were. And also, what matches do you want to see in 2026? And also, let me know if you agree with this list. I haven't seen this video, so we'll see what Cultaholic had for, you know, their top 10 matches from WWE. So let's get started with this.
WWE may have bragged to our faces about how much money they're fleecing us for, given WrestleMania to the Saudis, and brought back problematic performers nobody really missed in 2025, but on the bright side, the promotion stars still delivered where it counts. In TKO's bank account, in the ring. There were plenty of awe-inspiring WWE clashes between January 1st and December 31st, with the following 10 standing out above the others. I'm Sam Driver from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 best WWE matches of 2025. Join us! Number 10, Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, this was a really good match. It's when Sami Zayn was doing this whole open challenges. And this is where Ilya Dragunov took the title off of Sami Zayn in what was a banger of a match on SmackDown. Like, you know how Ilya Dragunov, he has that never say fight attitude. You know, he's always willing to take it to the next level. You know, he's always very gritty in the ring. This was this match here. And Sami Zayn, you know, he has that same character with him as well. You know, he never wants to quit. But Ilya Dragunov had his number that night and took the title off of him. And then Ilya Dragunov, he went on to have a pretty good reign. You know, he did these amazing open challenges. And then, you know, he just recently lost it to Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, on a tape SmackDown. But, yeah, Ilya Dragunov, yeah, and Sami Zayn, they had a great match. They had a great match here on October 17th.
SmackDown, October 17th. Ilya Dragunov was out for over a year after tearing his ACL in a match with Gunter on a non-televised live event in September of 2024. But Ilya is known to be unbreakable, and it was always a question of when and not if he'd be back. That question was answered when Dragunov stepped up to accept Sami Zayn's United States title open challenge on the October 17th, 2025 episode of SmackDown. Looking meaner and more motivated than ever in his comeback bout, Ilya took it to Sami with his trademark stiff strikes from the off. Zayn gave as good as he got, mind, and as the match wore on, it started to feel like a scrappy fight. And trust me, that is a compliment. There were also plenty of big moves and kickouts, and it really did feel like it was anyone's game to win during the closing stretch. Sure, we could have done without Solo Sikoa showing up and distracting the champ, but at least it didn't lead directly to the finish, which saw Dragunov pull off the upset and win the title. Number 9, Gunter versus CM Punk, SummerSlam Night 1.
Gunter and CM Punk from SummerSlam Night 1. Yeah, this match was really good here. Yeah, I think this is appropriate where to have this match at. I mean, this was kind of like an old school type of wrestling match here. You know, you had CM Punk being kind of like the underdog here, and he just had that never say fight attitude in him, and Gunther just kept trying to put him to sleep. You know, like, no pun intended here, but Gunther kept trying to put him to sleep here with the sleeper hold, and Punk would not give up. And it was like seeing Punk win here for like a few minutes. It was like 5 minutes or something like that. I don't know. You know, because we had the whole Bruise of the Century where Seth Rollins faked his injury and ended up cashing in his briefcase. But I mean, it was a cool moment for CM Punk here. it was nice to see Punk win for like a few minutes.
Ever since CM Punk made his shocking return to WWE at the 2023 Survivor Series, he made it crystal clear that his goal was to become world champion. And in the main event of Night 1 of SummerSlam 2025, the straight edge superstar received his first televised shot at the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Easily the best match of the night, the two warhorses went at it for 30 bruising minutes. The story of the match was Punk, the grizzled old gunslinger, continually fighting back in the face of the Ring General's strong-style onslaught. These guys weren't running through high spots or wrestling for pre-planned moments here. On the contrary, it was a good old-fashioned professional wrestling match where they threw bombs at each other and fought with heart. It wasn't perfect, and they didn't hit absolutely everything as crisply as they could have, but it was real and rugged, and it was capped off with Punk finally getting his long-awaited win after such a lengthy chase. And he got to enjoy it for all of about 5 minutes as the not actually injured Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract to win the title from him. A tremendous match and a great post-match angle. Number 8, the Men's Elimination Chamber match.
You know, I kind of forgot about this match, not gonna lie. I mean, we had Cena in here, we had Damian Priest, we had Logan Paul, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Yeah, those are all 6 guys in the match. Like, you know, this was Cena's last chance to get to WrestleMania. And, you know, his last WrestleMania. And then you had, you know, a lot of different stories here. You know, you had Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. You had that feud going on. You had the whole stuff with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. And even you had, you know, Cena mixing up with Logan Paul. And you had Cena mixing up with other guys in here in the match, which was cool. This was actually a really good match. Yeah, I would have never thought to put this on my top 10 matches from 2025. And also, of course, he had the whole stuff that went down afterwards. He had the whole Cena heel turn, which that was another great moment from 2025. But let's continue on.
Elimination Chamber. It's fair to say that the Elimination Chamber match has, in recent times, felt somewhat arbitrary. The sort of thing WWE feels the need to do simply because it's what they do every year. But in 2025, both chamber matches were worthwhile uses of the gimmick and comprised half of what was the best WWE pay-per-view of the year. The men's chamber match was the superior one, however, as it was stuffed with star power and had an incredible amount of heat as John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul battled for the chance to meet WWE Champion Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. This wasn't so much about the big moves and dangerous spots, though there were a couple of those too. Nope, this was about the incredible drama, particularly when it got down to the final 3 of Cena, Punk, and Rollins. It was edge-of-your-seat stuff, particularly due to the story of a desperate Cena knowing this was probably his last chance to earn a shot at winning his 17th world title in his final year as an in-ring performer. It built and built and built to an excellent finish, which was followed by an all-timer of a post-match angle. Number 7, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, Evolution. It only took them...
Yeah, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley from Evolution. Yeah, to be honest, I would have had this higher on my list. I would have probably put this top 3, to be honest. That's where I would have placed this match at. Like, they were going out and they were tearing the house down with this match. Like, they were doing some crazy spots in the crowd. And then, of course, you know, we had the amazing cash-in with Naomi winning the World Championship. And then also, you know, another great moment, you know, was when Naomi did her heel turn that year. I mean, Naomi, she was really killing it. I mean, it's kind of selfish for me to say this, but, you know, wish Naomi didn't get pregnant. But, hey, you know, I'm happy for Naomi and Big Jim, Jey Uso. But Big Jim did not proceed with caution. He did not proceed with caution here. But, yeah, this match here was awesome. And the whole cash-in was, you know, icing on the cake in this match here. But we'll continue.
7 years, but WWE finally gave the green light to a second all-female pay-per-view in 2025. A worthy sequel to the original Evolution, it was headlined by Io Sky defending the Women's World title against the incredibly popular Rhea Ripley. The two standouts had proven their chemistry on multiple occasions earlier in the year, but they took things up a notch here, piecing together one of the best singles matches of 2025. Rhea and Io clearly knew each other quite well by this point, so there were a bunch of nifty counters and sequences playing off their prior outings before they started throwing the heavy artillery, including Sky hitting a huge crossbody off a stack of production boxes, as well as a sunset flip powerbomb on the floor and a top rope Spanish fly. With both women down and the match finally poised, Naomi entered the fray, cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase and taking advantage of the situation by pinning Io to win the title. The cash-in didn't take anything away from the match that preceded it, which was excellent, but ensured that the show ended with a great hook. Number 6, Seth Rollins vs. CM Punk vs. Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41 Night 1.
Yeah, this was a good match here. I mean, you had the whole stuff with Paul Heyman, you know, who he was going to side with. And, you know, to be honest, I had no idea, you know. And then first you had CM Punk get turned on. And then you had, you know, you did not have one, you know, Paul Heyman turn, but you had it twice. Then he turned on Roman Reigns to side with Seth Rollins at the end of the match here, which was crazy, you know. And then you had the whole Rollins heel turn. Yeah, I love this. You know, there was just so much drama in this match. Like I said, because he didn't know where Paul Heyman's loyalty lied. But let's continue.
When CM Punk acrimoniously exited WWE in 2014, he made much of the fact that he'd never been given the opportunity to main event WrestleMania, going so far as to call his...
Also, hey, yeah, that's another great point. You know, this was awesome to see CM Punk's first, you know, ever main event at a WrestleMania. You know, he didn't care about really winning the match. He just wanted to be in the main event where he belonged, which he finally got that, which... You know, kudos to CM Punk, and, you know, I'm happy for him because he's really killing it in 2020. He killed it in 2025, and hopefully he continues to do it in 2026. But yeah, we will continue moving on with this list.
Career a failure because of it. Well, Punk's return, not to mention WrestleMania morphing into a two-night affair, finally enabled the voice of the voiceless to headline the showcase of the Immortals. Night 1 of it, anyway. Punk shared the spotlight at Mania 41 Saturday with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match that had no titles on the line, but plenty of intrigue as Paul Heyman appeared caught in the middle of Punk and Reigns. The match absolutely delivered and felt like a big-time WrestleMania main event, as there were lots of clever sequences, close false finishes, and big moves and moments. It all came down to Heyman and where his loyalties lay, as he turned on first Punk and then Roman, aligning with Rollins and allowing the Architect to prevail on the grandest stage. A great end to a so-so show, and certainly a much better finale than Night 2's.
This is
Number
true.
5, John Cena vs. AJ Styles at Crown Jewel.
Wait, they have this at number 5? I would have had this in the top 3 as well. Like, not gonna lie, I would have had this at number 1. John Cena and AJ Styles from Crown Jewel. You know, Cena, he did a lot of... He ran back a lot of matches in 2025. You're not gonna lie. This whole retirement tour wasn't all that great. Like, if they would have did the first half like they did the second half, I would have said, hey, this retirement tour would have been amazing. This would have been a great retirement tour. But, you know, it was weirdly booked at the beginning. You know, I mean, I like the heel turn, but they didn't really go anywhere with it. But yeah, this match right here, all these callbacks that they were doing in this match, and the way that AJ Styles, you know, he was working in this match, and his attire also, you know, there was a lot of, like I said, a lot of throwbacks in this match here, which I really loved it. But yeah, this match is probably my favorite match of the year. Like, you can't go argue with a wall if you don't think this match is the best. Go argue with a wall. But yeah.
One of the big WWE stories of 2025 was the final run of John Cena, who hung up the jorts after 23 years as a WWE star. It was a year that saw Cena finally turn heel, win his record-breaking 17th world title, and endure some of the weirdest booking imaginable. The last time his now retirement tour wasn't all great, far from it, but there were some definite highlights, such as this match with AJ Styles from Crown Jewel. Cena ran back a bunch of last time ever matches with a few of his great rivals, but this was the pick of the bunch. The face that runs the place, who was thankfully back to being a babyface, and the phenomenal one looked like they were having the time of their lives as they did the dance for the final time in front of a very enthused crowd in Perth, Australia. The best part about this was them choosing to pay homage to wrestlers they had wrestled, and some they hadn't, during their long and illustrious careers by busting out their signature moves before Cena wrapped things up with a tombstone, followed by another AA. And to think they fed Cena to that guy a month before this. Number 4,
Terrible.
the Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY versus the Street Profits on SmackDown, April 24th.
Oh yeah, this was that TLC match that they did, or that ladder match that they did. Yeah, this match was really good here too. I wish it would have made it on WrestleMania, but hey, I mean that's besides the point.
5th. Even though WrestleMania 41 is now a 2-day event, it's still the case that not every hardworking WWE star gets a spot on the card. And in 2025, there was no room for the Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, or the Street Profits, who were forced to sit and watch from the side.
What a shame. All three of these teams should have made it on the card. Like there's something that could have got cut from WrestleMania, or it could have been added. You know, it's just a shame that this wasn't on the card. But I mean, they made up for it at SummerSlam. But yeah, this should have been on WrestleMania.
Lines. Evidently, the three teams took the slight quite personally. And how do we know this? Well, because the 6 men performed like they had a point to prove when they met in the Tables, Ladders and Chairs main event of the April 25th episode of SmackDown. How this insane spot fest didn't make the grade, instead of, say, that instantly forgettable match between New Day and War Raiders.
Yeah, this is the match that could have been cut from WrestleMania. I completely forgot about this match. And that's a good thing I forgot about this, because, yeah, this match was terrible right here.
Will forever remain a mystery. But Ford, Dawkins, Shelley, Sabin, Gargano, and Ciampa can all be extremely proud of the effort they put into this tag team title spectacular. It was a TLC match reminiscent of the originals, featuring the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian, as they even recreated Edge and Jeff Hardy's infamous mid-air spear spot, albeit with Tommaso going through a table instead. That was just one of the many highlights from one of the very best free TV WWE matches, well, ever. Number 3, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber.
Yes, this was an awesome match. I mean, we already knew the history that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had. You know, Kevin Owens, proving that, trying to prove that he's right, that he's the good guy in the situation. And Sami Zayn, he was just tired of the way that Kevin Owens has been acting, and like how, the stuff that he was doing to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes at the Rumble and all that. Yeah, he was just tired of the way Kevin Owens was being. But yeah, this match was really good here. This was in Toronto, of course, as well.
Frenemies for life, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have had a long and often brutal on-again, off-again rivalry that's spawned more than 2 decades and seen them have high-profile meetings in Ring of Honor, PWG, NXT, main roster WWE, and beyond. At Elimination Chamber 2025, in an unsanctioned match in front of close to 40,000 fans in their home country, Owens and Zayn had perhaps their best and most brutal match yet, which may yet turn out to be their last. It felt like the final chapter in their story, and there's no way to do justice to what they did out there by simply listing moves and spots. This was an ultra-intense, hate-filled war between 2 wrestlers who know each other better than anyone else. They let it all hang out and had one of the most violent matches in recent memory, brawling in and around the ring and into the crowd as they utilized all the plunder available to them. Now, it might not be for everyone, but you can't fault the effort and the sacrifices both men made to entertain. We all hope this isn't isn't the injured KO's last dance, but if it is, then
Yeah, I hope Kevin Owens is able to come back, but we'll see what happens in 2026. But yeah, hopefully Kevin Owens will be back in the ring.
what a way to go out. Number 2, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam Night 2.
Yeah, this was a really good match here. I mean, you had Cody Rhodes defeating John Cena here. You had, it was kind of weird the way that kind of went down, though. Kind of like the way Cody Rhodes won the match. And also Cena turning babyface, randomly. Like, what the hell? Like, I was just, like, so confused about it. But, yeah, I mean, this was a really good match here. I mean, better than their WrestleMania match. They definitely made up for that. But, yeah, great match.
In the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania 41, John Cena defeated Cody Rhodes to capture his record 17th World Championship. History made, perhaps, but unfortunately for John, Cody, and WWE fans, the match itself was a disaster with one of the worst finishes in history. A Mania main event to forget, Cena and Rhodes were at least afforded the opportunity to redeem themselves in the main event of SummerSlam Night 2. And redeem themselves they did. This street fight for the WWE title was everything their WrestleMania match should have been and more, as they had an utterly compelling back and forth contest that saw each man dig deep into his respective arsenal, tearing the ring apart in the process. You could argue that things got a little silly with the sheer amount of AAs and crossroads by the end, but this was the epic that fans had wanted from this pair, and they gave everything they had for close to 40 knockdown drag-out minutes. A great way for Cody to regain his title and a fitting end to big babyface John's misguided heel run. We'll just casually ignore what happened after the match and continue to number 1, Io Sky versus
Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca. Yeah, I would have had this. I would have had this on my list as well. Yeah, amazing match. And this was, yeah, that was the best match from WrestleMania weekend. I mean, and it was. I'm happy that they had Io Sky win as well, which was amazing. Because people were expecting, either Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair to win. Io Sky to drop the title. But no, I'm happy that they kept it with Io Sky. And a lot of people were happy with it as well. But I mean, this could be justly, as a number one or best match of the year. Yeah. I mean, I would agree with it.
Ripley versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 41 Night 2. If WrestleMania 41 Night 2 ended with one of the worst Mania main events ever, it at the very least kicked off with one of the best openers in the event's storied history. Where the main was a dull, plodding slog that felt like it went on for an eternity, this was an electric, fast-paced 15-minute match that flew by. Credit must go to all 3 women as well as whoever produced the match, because they were firing on all cylinders and kept the action flowing without going overboard and doing too much or compromising the match's integrity. Everyone shined and got a chance to show what they could do, and it simply got better as it wore on, the crowd with them every step of the way, despite ending right at the peak with Sky retaining after hitting a moonsault on Belair, who was in the process of pinning Ripley following a KOD. This was the rare match where when it's over, you think, you know what, I could have easily used another 5 or 10 minutes of that. But really, it was pretty much perfect as it was, and stands out as the best WWE match of 2025.
Yeah. So that was my. Oh, we're gonna go backwards. Oh, I can't go backwards right now because there's an ad. Well, yeah, that was my reaction to WWE best matches of top 10 best matches of 2025 from Cultaholic. Go down in the comments. Let me know if you agree with this list, or let me know what you would switch out in this list. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, there was some I probably would have changed some orders. Like, I would say that the best match of the year was John Cena and AJ Styles from Crown Jewel. And then also I would have the Evolution match up there with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I'll have that higher as well. But there's a lot that is the same on here. And also, yeah, I would just change some stuff around in here. But you let me know what your guys' favorite matches were from 2025. And also, what are you guys looking forward to in 2026? And we're going to be doing a lot more reactions on my channel. Let me know what you guys want to see me react to. Maybe I might do some like the worst matches from 2025 or worst moments from 2025. I might do that still, since it's still early on in 2026. And yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot more stuff, and we'll be doing some retro content as well. But yeah, this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will see you guys in my next video. So peace.